Good evening and welcome. It is 2-drink minimum night here on the Free Enterprise channel because we have the wine drinkers of It's Bacchus O'Clock Somewhere, represented by Eninja, racing up against the funny people of the Mysidian Comedy Club, represented by TJ. Looks like we got a Rosa start to this seed. We have our slate of 5 fixed and 3 random objectives, and I'm looking forward to this one. How about you, Funnel Cakes?
I am too, Corgs. I think with this set of objectives, we could be going pretty fast tonight.
Yeah, we have our standard 2 summon spots down in the Fey March. They're not going to give us a key item check, but they are required objectives. We have our 2 required moon spots of Cave Bahamut and the Masamune Altar. We have the Forge option with 2 key items needed. And getting that Earth Crystal for Tower of Zot could be good. And as we can kind of peek below there, I think I saw the Ribbon Room and the Rat Tail. So darkness could be important here tonight, Funnel.
Yeah, I think trying to track down any quick way to that's going to be a big key to success, especially depending on what's hiding up there. If it's something easy to knock out, you can do it fast, get a bunch of experience for even a gross Fey March.
Yeah, the required boss spots are some of the most difficult spots in the game. If you haven't been watching this tournament, we don't have any of the free bosses. I mean, they might appear, but the mechanism that makes them free, those things are not going to be available to us tonight. So yeah, but we do have we're starting with a Rosa hero, so we're going to have a white mage regardless. We'll see how well she merges with the rest of her party, who she gets to start out with. An Earth Crystal start could be fun, lots of cash. Any particular key item you're hoping they start with?
I kind of like the Magma Key start because you can go anywhere, right? You've got all the shops open, so you can really just try to hone in on where you're gonna get your cash and where you're gonna get exactly what you need to make your team as fast as possible.
Well, we have tons of white mages, and we have a turtle slightly out of place, and we have a package which could be, could be a very important character. We'll see if both runners immediately go check that, or if they prioritize their early looting. I think I'd want to peek that right away, just to see who we're dealing with.
Yeah, I've definitely liked getting character information because then you know what you're looking for in shops. With so many items being available with S Wild, knowing what to keep in your mind and what tracked is an important thing, I think, for doing these flags well.
Yep, as we see our runners opening moves, we're of course joined by Aerith doing the tracking, and Niabari, who is our restreamer and rolled our seed. Looks like Ninja is going right to a watery pass for some early loot, while TJ is hanging out in Baron, checking out all the money available in the inn.
Yeah, and that's a gauntlet at Baron 1 with a Sid behind it.
So that's not 2 water hags, huh?
If only it could be 2 water hags. I'd be much happier seeing those blue robes.
We see heal pots for sale at Baron's shop. A lot of folks have taken to simply just buying a stack of 10 when they see them. They're cheap. You're not going to be at a loss for money on a seed like this. And against someone that's perhaps casting stone or piggy against you, like a Val or maybe a dark elf or something, you want to be able to recover from that pretty quickly. So I see most runners picking up that stack of 10 heal pots.
Yeah, especially with how I've been feeling. White mages turn a lot into arrow shooting machines, and they don't have time to cast heal. They're there to shoot Artemis arrows.
Looks like Ninja's favoring the split front and back border pass looting. Let's see how DP goes. Is he going to stop here or go to that next screen? I missed the Kaipo check. Did you happen to see it?
I did not either. Tella in bed.
I mean, that's a white mage too. We could have 3 white mages if we find that early Sand Ruby. I guess one of them is not quite as good as the other 2, but an early exit caster could be useful, though I think Porm's going to get there pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be in any hurry to go turn a Sand Ruby in if I picked one up in, say, Antline or Fabul or somewhere of that sort.
Ninja continuing his looting route through Damsian. We'll see if it triggers probably will trigger that hovercraft launch as well, with the rat tail being one of our possible objectives. We have 8 objectives. Runners have to do 6, and there is no Z fight. It's win game. When that 6th objective is complete, the game will end, and whoever does that first will be our winner tonight.
Yeah, I almost feel like the Z fight is almost the king spot or the Masa altar spot. That's whichever boss is less fun to fight.
Yeah, they both have potential. We'll see when those spots get peaked, if they get peaked, and then you come back for later. Typically, Masa, when you get down there, you're going to be hopefully ready for it or exiting out of it very quickly. But those Fame March spots tend to get peaked early, so runners can kind of prepare, have a sense of what's coming for them.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd say two of the bosses I don't want to see down there are already off the table with Gauntlet and Keinatsu.
Yeah, that's true. We got Keinatsu in that opening Baigen slot. Not a very high hit point slot, so that is a terrific spot to see the wave-making turtle.
We found glass hats in the desert where I feel like I find them all the time. It's there or miss. That's where glass hats are meant to live.
I mean, it makes sense. You're surrounded by sand. The really great natural resources available there for making all sorts of glass items.
Yeah, make a nice pile of them. I've been enjoying get one early. Makes a lot of fights really, really, really free.
Yeah, we talk about this meta maybe not being solved yet, but there's certainly items that a lot of runners go for. Those glass hats, protect rings, things that aren't super expensive relative to how much cash you're going to have, that provide you that survivability, useful for the early game, and then even useful late, just to cut down, especially when you put a character in the back row, glass hat, protect ring. They're probably going to be able to survive just about anything.
Yeah, especially with a lot of seeds, I feel like come down to 1 or 2 powerhouse characters. And so anything you can do to keep them from getting punched and keeping churning out damage is exactly what you're looking for.
Kind of a disappointing armor shop there for Ninja. Let's see if the weapon shop in the city has anything better. Nothing too exciting.
No, not really. I saw he picked up some elven bows in Agar, which I think is good. I like the mage mash. Plenty of mean mages on these flag sets.
For sure. TJ, on the other hand, is looking for the big money, and he's now found all 3 monster chests, 2 in the left and 1 right up the middle. I didn't get a chance. I'm not sure if he stayed long enough to see any of them, or I might have missed it, but he now knows he can just kind of sweep through and collect hundreds and hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, get the big loot spike and be able to pick up any of the fun items you find. Sorcerer robes in Troya, Excals and Samurais. Pretty nice town so far. Getting our white mages ready for battle.
Ninja stack of samurai arrows like they're cordwood.
Be curious to see how much money TJ ends up pulling from Eblan. I've had mixed results, I feel like, of what I can expect to get.
So what do you think? Do you think Ninja has decided he's done enough and he's ready to start clearing? He's got the good defense of the Sork robes, and he's got decent offense early with the double archers. Would you start clearing at this point?
I would. I've been liking clearing early, like as soon as you're kind of 1 or 2 items set and you're good to go, like the bows we have, and trying not to double track around the world map too much, because I think it's been fast, and so not backtracking has, I felt, saved a lot of time. And then just trying to work shops in as naturally as I possibly can with like
first look at. Oh, is this our second look at Agar? Is that where
it
the
is?
elbow bows are
Yeah.
picked up? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so now we know Excals in Troya, Ninja Swords in Agard, if we happen to find any of those heavy hitters characters later in the seed. Crystal Gloves, who cares?
Going for a peek down antlion. I like antlion. I'm an antlion believer. I know some people try to avoid it until you get an exit caster, but I think I've had plenty of good times getting value here. It's usually
Speaking
not too
of
fast to
value,
check.
that was 65k check in Antlion. That's a chest I might not normally go to, but just sitting there waiting for the taken.
Yeah, that's being walked out regardless of what this item gives you.
Yeah. Yeah, and your point on unavoiding Antlion until maybe you have exit or something. The question always in the back of your mind is, what if it's magma? What if that was your magma and you've been doing all this time with traps and stuff where you mentioned earlier having magma as that starting item, having it at Antlion is nearly having it as your starting item and just opens up so much.
Exactly. And it's not a ton of XP, but it can definitely be enough to kind of get you jump started, especially if you start with like a Palom. Enough to get, I think it gives you ice too, if I'm remembering my experiences right, provided it's not split or something.
Right. Yep. Standard experience.
Like this.
Yeah. I don't think we have any AoE at all. I guess the Thor Rages.
Yeah, I think the Thor Rages would be well spent here, but I think also saving them for maybe an Odin earlier that came out, so if you've got to go through them.
Yep, Ninja using the carnival game strategy, picking them off one by one. Gonna save one of each color. If you don't do that, it'll turn into the big doll. And even in a spot like this, you wouldn't want the time wasted there. You wouldn't want the chance of the big doll hitting you with that glance. And Ninja's through. Let's see if it pays off key item wise.
Darkness. I'll walk that one out.
Yeah, we're now potentially one key item from Go Mode. If we see that Earth Crystal or I guess that's it as far as the one key item. If we see Earth Crystal, that is Go Mode, or else we're waiting for Hook and Rat or the two halves of Forge, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yeah, just looking for something in Magma.
I mean, Darkness is the one that could have been buried, and obviously it wasn't. I mean, it could have been in an out-of-the-way sylph chest, could have been behind a long chain, but nope, just sitting there behind 6 little dolls in an bug nest.
We'll see if we get a new character up here, or is it just more repeats? Yang, I'm not too happy about this character, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, not too exciting. I mean, if you find some cat claws and all that good armor and gear that he can wear, he's definitely serviceable. Can make use of the elemental claws, which could be useful, but yeah, not thrilling. Steady.
Yeah, he does make a nice meat shield to put in the front row and throw Cure 3s.
And let's see if TJ gives us our first look at package character. Oh, it's the Sage again.
More
Do we go for it? Wait, and who's burning down the village?
I believe that is Rydia's mom.
I don't know exactly how many sprites it spits out when it does that, but I guess eventually they all converge into one once you find Demas. But right now, Rydia's mom is a multitude, and she is burning down her own village. TJ's taking advantage of that to score himself a Sage.
Scattered across the mist to be gathered up by our brave heroes.
Man, looking at that Tella with the Titan and the Quake, I wish she just could really cast Quake, but that never happens.
One day, Tella. It's Meteo. If I could find me you a Soma drop.
Tella should be able to recall spells like Quake and never actually cast them any other way.
I'd approve of that change. I love the recall roulette. I think this is our first look into Fabul.
Let's see. Do we get one of those big bows? No. You get black belts.
Black belts are nice. I'd take note of the drain spears of an edge decides to roll around.
Yeah, those are definitely in my mental notes. I've been doing a poor job of not remembering where those are when an edge shows up, and they're definitely useful to to dart. They're not cheap, but again, this is a flag set where all of your chests are money and you tend to have a lot of it.
Yeah, and 10 drain spears can take down, I think, probably every boss spot that's required. Or at least pretty close.
All right, 2 competing boss fights coming up.
Stay Pale Dim and King and Queen.
I'd say both runners probably disappointed because either of these bosses would be good to see in a hard spot. Neither one is too difficult, even without free bosses being on. King Queen Eblan just give you those low-level fire spells, and a Pale Dim is one of the easier moon bosses to work around, given that you have the right gear. Arty arrows in a tough spot kind of just slice through it.
Yeah, he can get a little spooky on the King spot or maybe Masa, but otherwise, I'm pretty okay seeing him.
Fiery Blizzard in chat pointing out something really, really interesting here. We have 2 Tellas in different beds in the same town at once. I'm not sure if I can deal with that.
If you run fast enough, you can see them both at the same time. And that's a magma key. We're cooking.
Yeah, we could be a freebie away from go mode at this point. We could be an easy trap chest away from go mode at this point. As long as the lady gets out of TJ's way in Kaipo. Oh. I mean, if that had got...
She's definitely been a little devious to get around, and nothing's more frustrating than just staring at her walk back and forth, refusing to move.
Yeah, I mean, if that had gone to worst case scenario, the good news is they just picked up a Tella and could have exited out, but didn't have to come to that.
To be an Asura in Waterfall?
Yep, one of our mage types off the table. Still have the Baron Guards and Magus Sisters out there, perhaps.
Personally okay with Asura being gone. That's a boss I do not enjoy fighting at any spot. Just a weakness I have against that boss.
Yeah, she can be tricky if you don't have the tools to deal with her. Having the Elven Bows would definitely help. But sometimes the agility situation, and if she's in a punchy spot, she could be taking people down that you'd rather not have fall down. But she's gone. Was that DKC?
It was. We've seen a lot of spooky bosses already, and they were in either free or not needed spots.
We've also seen some easy ones, so we'll have to see how this works out. Because yeah, those D-imps, when you don't have free bosses on, can be really difficult to deal with. Those are 3. It's a boss with 3 elements, 3 different individuals hitting you.
Yeah, I've never expected to be scared of DMs or Baron Guards as much as no free bosses has made me.
You see these DMs at the element spot when you have a required giant, and I think it's like they have 34,000 hit points apiece, and they just don't stop hitting.
It's like probably like 1.2k around ish.
Yeah, and it's so hard to like even take one off the table to reduce it to 2 hits around.
Because once you get to 2, it stabilizes nicely, but 3 is hard.
It's not nice. Oh, Eninja, our first runner underground. Let's see where he chooses to go first. It's like a stop at Wharf, probably for shops. We'll see. Some runners sometimes like to peek the boss, but Ninja didn't save, so I'm assuming just a shop check and out.
Yeah, wanted to get the eyes on rest of the gear for the ladies. Cat claws are nice. Saw some samurai bows there.
Yeah, cat claws. Best claws available. Remind me, they give both speed and strength to Yang, is that right?
Yes, I believe it's +5 in both.
Yep, so that's what you want to see, and hopefully I didn't notice what other claws that Ninja has, but you pair that with one of the elemental claws when you need it, and that's usually pretty good.
He has at least an ice claw.
That's useful. I don't think we've seen either Ruby standalone or the elements yet.
And I think someone, Fire Blizzard said, I think there was lit arrows in that shop, but I don't think he grabbed a stack. He did not. Lit arrows have been quite nice in a lot of these spots too. More things have lightning weakness than I ever expected.
Yeah, we'll see if that decision not to pick up any comes back to haunt Eninja at all. We have one of those lightning weak bosses in a tricky spot, and will this? Oh, the dwarf cooperated. Sometimes that dwarf can hong back and forth left and right for an extended period of time.
Gotta make sure the armor's all in order before he opens up shop.
I mean, he's nothing but thorough.
A forest fire inspector.
I mean, was there ever a forest here underground? Because if so, that dwarf has done a terrible job.
Might have been one of those jobs that showed up after the fires happened. So there's no more fires because he's doing a good work.
But like all the ocean is fire.
Maybe they shouldn't have had that job then. Just don't have any fires.
Maybe one day he's hoping to reach the surface, and that's where he'll fully pursue his career.
Hitch a ride on the hook after the tower falls.
No save from Ninja here either, so not chancing the chests. Sometimes it's fun, especially if you haven't used all of your hourglasses. You get 3 starting hourglasses in the kit to try your hand against the warriors here. But I think Ninja is just going to shop and peek the bosses, and of course the key item check. We'll see what that reveals in a matter of moments.
TJ is starting his Calbrina fight to get his Darkness Crystal.
Just a Sork robe from the freebie check, so something that was, of course, purchased already, and not a key item.
Cabins are a nice find.
Pretty useful. Yeah, for sure.
No one's bought the whistle yet.
All right, let's see what level of pain we're dealing with down here.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
All right, we got D-Mist and a non-Pale Dim Sparkle. That's all we know right now. D-Mist in the king spot.
How do you feel about saving and checking the Sparkle there?
I probably would. Yep, I want to know. I want to know if it's Wyvern. I want to sit there and I want to see what the Witchburn attack is, because with the Sea Hero flag, we don't typically have the Mega Nuke version, the standard version of Wyvern, just because it could be too cruel and can possibly even soft lock you. So yeah, I want to see what that opening attack is, if it is indeed Wyvern. Ninja, though, looks like they're going to be leaving that for a later time.
Yeah, and found the Zeus Golem for Yang. TJ unfortunately got Big Dolled, which is never fun. That Thunder did more damage than I was expecting it to.
Big Doll flexing its magical muscles.
Glance Porum showing us the site. A never seen spell, except I feel like when I get glanced.
Yeah, I wondered what she wanted to see, but luckily Tella was there to give her a little tap as she, a parting shot, heals the big doll.
Going down for a Shiva 1 check. I like it. You're here. Don't really have the levels, I think, to go hunting for key items underground, so most likely going either to Baronin, Eblan, or deals of that sort.
Fortunately, getting the dolls cycling back if you don't do enough damage. I don't know the exact number, but if you don't do enough damage, that big doll transforms back into the 6 and the cycle repeats. We'll see if TJ can find his way through this. Looks like the targeting. Yep. Good targeting there in the back row. And is scared of this kick. And we get that back doll down.
Oof. Back into the big doll again.
Got double doll day here down in that line.
Eninja's going up ordeals. We'll see what bosses are hiding for us here.
And if one of the Tellas ever makes it into his party, assuming Ninja doesn't reset out of any of these checks and completes it, he will have a fully online Tella. But right now only TJ has it. Nice job by TJ getting through that second incarnation of the big doll.
Yeah, very nice by him. And got an Octomom for the first fight. Shouldn't be too much of a issue. Exiting out of the outline is always nice, especially to see where we're going to next.
There goes Octo.
Down nice and easy. Quick save, plenty of things can be rude at back attack.
Yeah, I agree with that save there. With the level of the party, and yeah. Hopefully, we're probably going to be seeing a lot of power punches here against this outline.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be shooting too many arrows. Oh, that looked like a normal punch there.
Well, I guess the outline gets to shoot some arrows back then. Ninja going for it. Riling up that Young. Just going to start laying in with the double cat claws. Decent damage. Should be able to get through this.
Yeah, I think
counters.
I think as long as the counters don't go super rude and just holding a turn on Porum, he'll be safe. TJ going through Fabul to get his Magma Key and his King and Queen fight.
This hit should do it. There it is. The antline crumbles away, going to drop off that bridge. We'll see. Our hero is Rosa, so this is the C hero flag set, meaning Rosa is going to take the next fight alone. And we'll see if Ninja chooses to save before this one. She should be able to handle just about anything. I guess a gauntlet would be fairly annoying without a good AoE option. But we'll see what awaits.
The gauntlet's at Baron 1, but you could get a Wyvern.
Yep.
I don't think she could one-shot hit that. With a rude Witch Burn could be a bit of a stumbling block. But otherwise, I don't think there's anything too difficult I can think of.
Young and Porum wish her well. We'll see if this also gives us a key item. No guarantee on that. And we'll see if Ninja chooses to take the fight regardless. That's a pretty big one.
Yeah, I'll take that fight. And then you found your second blue robe.
It's the gauntlet. Oh, but no, that was that Baron.
It's 6 water hags. I guess I don't think Eninja checked Baron, so he didn't know that wasn't a gauntlet.
Nope, probably super relieved to see it's the quicker of the two fights. Even though it's not free, it's essentially free. Just take a little bit of time. Actually have to take down all of the hit points of this water hag. So that, you know, we're at the stage where we're a hook or an earth crystal away from go mode.
Yeah, those could definitely be tucked away somewhere pretty far. Down in Sylph somewhere, a lower tower chest. There's in Ukaki, because we've seen Tella, so there is a Warpcaster on the seed.
Yeah, I don't think does Ninja know about the Tella? I don't think he checked that yet.
Not from the package. I think he checked the Sand Ruby.
Yeah, so we'll see if Ninja finds out about the package Tella, who is available right now, and then chooses to take him. And I would say if he sees him, pretty high chance, because now he is powered up with all of his spells, which unfortunately doesn't include Quake, but does include that very valuable Warp spell to give you the double check down in Dwarf Castle.
Yeah, it makes that check much more palatable in terms of what you get out of it. Even if it does come with a character check, there's no promise it's going to be something you can take or something you even want to take.
Our tracker telling us Ninja did check package, so the decision is out there for him to make at this point.
Turn it into Shiva 1, I like it. Gotta finish checking your freebies, and I think going through ordeals might have been part of the teleplay with missing Warpcasters. You're over in the area. It's a fine time to go up there. Look around, see what there is.
All right, every single key item check now. Very exciting. Sheila, you want us to end the seed quickly, or are we gonna make it last a little longer? Well, it's a Bahamut.
Now you're hoping for Iridia to wander out, be ready to cast Varg and everything. Solves a lot of problems.
Yeah, one possible route we might see Ninja take could be package into Dwarf at this point. Let's see if that happens, or if he's got other ideas. All the trap chests are still out there, so lots and lots of checks with the game wide open. Magma Key and Darkness both obtained.
I'm gonna come through Baron, see his Sid, see his Gauntlet fight. It's slow, but it's easily doable.
Yep, Ninja wants the check. Here come all of the aquatic creatures out of the sewer, up into the inn.
Looks like TJ is going to be going up to the moon for us. Get us a peek of what we can find. Or at least raising our big whale, because I don't think we've seen anything from Mysidia.
Ninja shot there on his initial route before he had Darkness.
Okay. I couldn't remember if he had swung through that way before hitting that line.
Yeah, potentially a swing here if TJ chooses to go to the moon and say if there's a Cecil or an Edge. That could be a pretty big power spike if you then pair that with one of their big weapons, which I'm not sure if TJ's seen all of them yet, but we'll see what he decides to do with his newly raised whale.
Up to the moon, I like it.
Yeah, also, again, without either runner doing any traps yet, they both still have their hourglasses. There is that, what we call the hairdryer's chest off in the little lunar path cave. Also a possibility. Especially nice if, say, there's a Palom here, you can get some initial big experience numbers, and those white mages wouldn't mind a little more experience as well. And looks, ooh, I thought maybe... Okay, shot first.
Oh, we were about to see a Cave Bahamut check.
The lunar map is not too big, but there's lots of little caves with all a bunch of things, including Cure 3s. Pretty nice to have a stack of those to free up your white mages for other things.
Yep. No carrot spot.
No carrots, no whistles.
Some would Some wouldn't be happy about that. Some say they're essential to a good seed.
Or is having a good seed essential to getting a carrot? So do we have a chicken and eggs scenario going on?
Yeah, I think all good seeds have carrots in them. Sometimes they take a vacation for the day. Don't make it off the moon.
Let's see if the character descending onto the lunar dais will make it off the moon. Tonight we have Iridia. Well,
that makes it off the moon for me.
So we have runners. One runner has the Bahamut orb and one runner has the Iridia. We'll see if both can make up the missing part of this powerful young caller.
And was the Bahamut in shop underground, or was that on the overworld?
It was Sheila 1. Unless I didn't notice it in the shop, it could definitely be in a shop, but Sheila 1 gave it tonight.
I know Sheila 1 had it, and I thought I saw it in a shop, but I could be misremembering.
Let's see if TJ knows, because once you get Iridia, if you know where the Bahamut is, chances are you're going to beeline for it. So let's see if that's the case.
We're going right back to Fabul. I feel like it has to be here then.
So I guess that means Sheila saved up her coins and bought a Bahamut and then gives it out when you go see her husband.
Yeah, it's a nice little gift. It's a memento to remember Fabul by.
Yeah, it must be a local product.
And Luge for the second Baron spot. A bunch of very fast bosses.
All right, all TJ needs now is some experience on that Iridia. Let's see where he chooses to get it, and then we'll see if the Belarg party begins.
Just a Sid and a crystal shield from Baron Inn.
For all of those screen transitions, the gauntlet, the 2 Luge phases, a shield, and a Sid.
I'm a big Sid fan. You can use bows. Welcome to the party.
Yeah, if you end up keeping your Yang and your Sid, you're going to have a bunch of high hit point fellas there to balance out the lower hit point mages. We'll see if they can absorb some hits in critical spots. Like TJ taking on that Dark Knight in the Mist Cave, hoping maybe to get a little initial experience on Iridia, but even the puny dark waves of Mist Cave are unfortunately too much for the 30 hit point starting level Iridia.
Yeah, and the Mist from Porum might have been the tipping point for that.
Yeah, a good solid hit there, and yeah, he was definitely very close. There's plenty of experience to be had here, however, as long as you can keep that Iridia up.
I know we put a glass ad on her, so she should be okay.
Despite the different paths, neither runner having a Tela with full spells, because Ninja did ordeals but didn't have the Tela, and TJ has a Tela but hasn't done ordeals, so unfortunately limited to those lower level starting spells, doing a little bit of damage.
Yeah, and he seemed to be the target of the first round of attacks from the gauntlet. Eninja going up to presumably get his Iridia and potentially the hairdryer's chest as well. With Bahamut in hand, I think the XP is nice to get her going, or going right to hairdryers.
Yeah, just kind of a bad luck in the routing decision without that knowledge. But there are plenty of other opportunities to get Rydia going. Still all those trap chests in Eblan. Dwarf Castle, not a bad spot if you can keep her up.
Yeah, I think you can get her through Eblan pretty easily. I mean, with what you've got at the moment.
And let's not forget, in addition to the decent experience haul that Ninja's going to get here, another chance at a key item. Looking for Earth Crystal or Hook for Go mode, maybe looking for one half of the Forge and pick up the other half somewhere else. Neither runner has peaked the boss of Cave Bahamut, one of the potentially required spots yet.
Berserking up Yang, let him punch away at our friendly jellyfish. See if we
so
get
these are.
Go ahead.
I was just these. So these are lunar. These are space jellyfish. Is what we're fighting. We call them hair dryers because of their form, but
I'm a big fan of the hair dryers. It's a nice check for usually pretty easy and a lot of experience for the start of the game.
Yep, looks like also making use of the life glitch, which is available for your non-boss enemies. Unfortunately, things like the D-imps, in addition to not being able to do kind of the the coffin method or the tiny method on bosses like that, you can't even life glitch them, but you can life glitch these.
And I think if you get all three, it's about 50,000 XP.
Yeah, pretty close there. I don't know if we got all three, but that was 45.9, so pretty good. We got our Blinks, our Berserks.
Nice jump start for the rest. Ooh, and a pant.
Big check. See how quickly Ninja goes into his menu after getting that Rydia to apply that Bahamut Orb, teach her that powerful summon.
Think about as fast as you possibly can.
Looks like things didn't go so well, unfortunately, for TJ in Baron. I don't think he completed that check, did he?
I do not believe so. I like the Eblan play. You should be tanky enough to survive the first round of everything to get the hourglass out. And I think having Rydia in the front is fine. If she goes down, you can just bring her back up while someone's taking care of the trap chest.
Yeah, I think it's a good call. If that indeed was a wipe at Baron, this is a great spot to go and kind of make up for it, get your experience, and make your future checks that much easier.
Looks like Eninja's going down right to Dwarf Castle. I like the move. Can get rid of at least 10 levels to get warp, and probably whatever else she picks up along the way.
Yeah, it's true. No warp caster yet, but like you said, as long as she survives, she will have it. She gets it really early. But you need her to survive at least one of these fights. CPU should be survivable.
Yeah, taking 3 damage at a time?
Yeah, that's right.
Chopping away at the Mad Ogres, a nice swoon proc from the Assassin Dagger.
Ninja going for it with the Berserk. Let's see how this works. Oh, we're also going to get a Blink cast. This could be that strategy. Nope, going double berserk.
A Luca key from the Mad Ogre chest.
Which we know now has no value, assuming you get the warp glitch. You know, if you don't know where that Demus is, it could, you know, low chance, but it could be lurking at that boss spot. But we know it's at a really nice spot. It's at the king spot down in Feymarch.
Yeah, right where you can find it. Right in the open.
Just waiting for you. There does exist a world where that Demus leads to, say, the rat tail leading to Earth, leading to 1/2 of Forge, making that super required.
But nicely done by Eninja to get through the CPU with the Berserk strats. I'm always a little nervous about just sending it and hoping the Globe 199s are kind to you.
Not as fun of a fight here in the second spot, and unfortunately, no new character here. But we do have that experience now in the Rydia.
Yep. She'll be ready to cast Warp after this, and then TJ has unlucky hit from the skeleton to knock down the Rydia. But making good use of the Hourglass. Once she's back up, she has mana for Bahamut and should clean this up nicely.
I think this is going to be our first one of the evening. I don't think it was used last time, was it?
It was not. She was still level 1.
Blarg number 1. How many will we see before this seed is over between both racers?
And it's another Bahamut. Wonderful.
The seed is giving both runners a message saying, hey, this is your DPS. Take the Bahamut, no matter where you can get it. It's a key item check. It's for sale. It's in a trap chest. Where else could it be?
You know, it could be in another trap chest. We could get it here in Dwarf Castle.
It could be Dwarf Castle and the Warp Glitch. Two more Bahamuts.
You know, at least you can use the Bahamuts. I feel like it's much meaner with things like Crystal Swords.
Yeah. Though if you have multiple Crystal Swords, even if you're still waiting out for that Cecil, it's always nice to sell them all but one. But I guess we really don't need the money. Yep, so far no key item value for TJ from Eblan. We'll see if this one yields something. Yeah, we did get the Luca key, but it's not going to lead to any progress. And uh-oh, I just saw a reset. Was there a save? I think there was a save in
I think there was, yeah. After the Staleman, he went out and saved and refilled on mana.
Just a silver apple from the dwarf check. Let's see if the companion check, the warp check, yields something a little better. And it does not.
More shields.
Dwarf Castle, a complete bust this evening. No character, no key item. Let's see if Ninja chooses to follow up on that pan a little. If he hadn't done the Sheila 1 check, I think that would have been an absolute go-to. Let's see if he values that new single check. Or are we going to have a tower? Looks like we're going tower.
I like the tower. It's 4 trap chests, a boss. Not usually pretty good odds. Looks like just a Murasame from the final trap chest.
I know there's probably a few people in chat hoping that DMIS does contain one of those nightmare chains I mentioned, because right now, we just had a whole bunch of checks from both runners, different checks, and none of them are coming up with what we need.
TJ healing up a little bit. Looks like it's probably getting ready to go back to Baron Inn, give it another shot, or head back underground.
Someone in chat asked for a 5-word summary, and some folks in chat are doing terrific ones. We could also summarize one runner now, and that Ninja needs one more thing.
Yeah, needing one more thing has been a feeling for this seed since about 10 minutes in. Get in the early darkness and early magma key. Easy to get magma key. You're feeling a little panicked once your checks are coming up with nothing.
Yeah, if only you knew the same thing was happening to your opponent, just somewhere else.
Yeah, right. That's the worst part, is you don't know where they're checking, and you're like, I hope it's not where I need to be.
And hopefully for TJ's sake, he actually never goes back to that Baron Inn, right? Because that didn't yield anything.
No, that was a sit in a crystal shield. Nothing doing there.
More crystal gear.
we're preparing for this Cecil, right? He'll show up one day.
But though, unless I'm mistaken, we've gotten a lot of the crystal gear, but not the big sword.
No, the big stick will come last, is the cherry on top.
And then definitely no Cecil.
Oh, of course not. He knows when he can't show up.
So that alert we're searching, I wonder if it knew a Bahamut was about to greet it, but it took care of it pretty quickly. And more armor, this time ninja gear.
For the potentially non-existent edge. I think we've seen, what, 6 characters? Yeah. So we just have...
What's this flag set? One more?
One more unique character.
Probably behind the giant at this point.
Yeah, giant are down the hook route.
Welcome in, Raiders, from the Blues Eclipse stream. We had a seed that gave us early darkness, early magma, and we've been one key item from go mode for a while. If Ninja finds either the hook or the earth crystal, he'll be in go mode. TJ can kind of get himself there. The rat tail was up on ordeals, so we'll see if and when TJ chooses to do that. But both runners have been kind of hitting up checks that are yielding nothing for the past, say, 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think our only item that we found differently was Eninja found a pan on the moon, and we haven't bonked and turned it in yet.
Picked up an Avenger that no one can use at the moment.
Would go great for the Cecil we're making equipment for.
I guess if I was a runner right now, I would just make an imaginary friend, Cecil, and pretend he had all this great gear and we were getting through the seed.
How strong he'd be, these 2 white mages to keep him blinked.
Yeah, oh, what a great setup. Then we definitely don't need that Sid anymore. Oh, and that Yang coming up 14 hit points short of one-shotting that alert eye. So now we have to deal with the snake. We haven't seen the Thunderclaw. That would have made these one shot every single one, but unfortunately, I don't think either runner has one.
No Thunderclaw, but TJ did pick up a stack of lit arrows, it looked like. Lit arrows and some white arrows, and a pink tail. Not quite what we're looking for, but it is a key item.
Like Ninja up to 6 on the key item count. Might not come into play tonight with, again, us only needing one more, but if it's buried, we might have more than 10 by the time we find the one we need.
Yeah, and I feel by this point, I've usually feel like I've found more than 6 key items. They're hiding in those trap chests somewhere.
Could this be one of those seeds where whoever does Sylph first gains the advantage? That's usually a check I'm finding most runners tend to put off. If not last, maybe close to it.
Yeah, I think it's harder to go there. I think once you have float on either of your white mages, it's alright, or the powered up Tella, it makes it feel a lot better. But not having float really feels like it slogs the Sylph trek down.
Yeah, and we will be able to one-shot them with the Bahamut, but the agility setup I don't think is going to allow us to cast that until the enemies get some turns.
Yeah, I don't think we found any... I don't think we have any heroin robes or Artemis arrows to get Rydia up there in speed.
All right, we got Sparkle at the top of the tower. Let's see who's not in the queen spot. Ogo's not there, but Ogo is here.
CPU seems to brush off the first Bahamut, and the Globe 199 is know who the danger people are.
Yeah. Really slick targeting there by the CPU.
It knows. It always feels like it does.
Yeah, always tricky lifing up folks after the 199 because you know that percentage-based attack is going to be coming soon. So nice job getting the Cure 2 on Rydia before the attacker globe comes back up and starts doing its thing.
Yeah, and second Bahamut comes up that should finish it. Should be close. Not quite.
So, among the other things we're lacking, I don't think I've seen any big black mage gear.
Just sorcerer robes, I think, in Troya, but nothing. No Stardust, no charm rods.
Unfortunately, with the expense of the 60 cost mana Bahamut, Rydia needs to refresh her mana pool before she can cast another one. Ninja doing a nice job managing this Ogo fight with its waves, taking off chunks of his party's health every so often, getting the damage out with Rosa and Yang.
The big orb's down on TJ's side, so it's just cleaning up the two little orbs, and I believe it's Mom Bomb next.
Look at that Bahamut taking out the attacker orb. I love it.
That attacker orb had a bad day.
Got him. Dueling finishes. We know what Dwarf leads to. Let's see what top of tower yields for a ninja. Could be big.
A hook?
I believe that puts us in go mode.
It does, but I think we have some spooky stuff left. We'll see how Ninja kind of finishes the prep for the rest of the seed.
Would you absolutely check the character at hook, given the situation?
I don't think I would. I think Rydia can probably take care of most everything with the support of your white mages, and your Yang's actually fairly strong. Zeus Gauntlet, Double Cat Claw, Black Belt can kind of deal with any of the heavy hit or the high magic resist bosses that might pop up. Maybe go back, get a glass hat, get everyone a little bit more secured in their defenses. Maybe I would check the hook shop, though.
Let's say you already had a crystal sword. Would that change your decision making?
It might. I might take the run down there. You've already done ordeals.
Yeah. But we know the odds are low just because there's only one remaining character that we don't know about yet.
Looking for float, and not quite. I think it's 32 for Rosa.
Unfortunately, on the left, TJ's fight against Mom Bomb, that Bahamut was queued up before the explode, so it only targets one, absolutely annihilates it. Let's see if he can recover from this precarious situation to get through this. I don't think, even if she survives the hits, if we get to the explode phase, could be dicey. Let's see if we can get another Bahamut off before that happens.
Yeah, it'll be close.
This, unfortunately, that is a wipe, just the way the hit points fell on that, so rough one there for TJ.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if he tries to go back. We do know that not going back is the right decision to go run up the tower.
Yeah.
But it's hard to know that in a race.
It is, but definitely, you know, the decisions CJ are making are, you know, we wipe at Baron and wipe here, both the, you know, the back-to-back boss fights, and we know it doesn't, neither pays off. So if he kind of sticks to this, not too bad.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very reasonable play. You found you bounce off a spot and you come back either much later or just never come back at all.
Looks like Ninja making an experience play down here in Sylph.
I like it. You know, you have a Demus that's going to punch quite hard, and a mystery sparkle of either Plague, D-Lunars, or a Wyvern.
And you never know, you might luck into one of those other objectives, allowing you to skip one of the fights you don't want to have to take.
And now with float, these chests become a lot more manageable.
So what's going on when they float? How are they maneuvering around the cave? Are they like grabbing onto the walls and pulling themselves around? How does it actually work?
I think you're just making tiny jet boots, but they last one floor. You can't go up and down stairs. So casting the magic is reinfusing them to let you propulse around.
Okay, so you're picturing, yeah, an active propulsion system.
Yeah, but it's not very effective.
No.
Might just be going for the pan check from Eninja based on the side he's going down. Sneak in an earth crystal or something of the sort.
Yeah, there've definitely been seeds where I like the idea of only checking the ones you pass on the way to Young, and if you can handle them easily and you can gain that experience, gain that key item check, sometimes a fun little gamble to make.
Yeah, and it definitely, you know, gets you moon ready, gets you Fey March ready, without having to, you know, try to sneak in a boss win.
All right, TJ, giving us the information. Wyvern greets us in the queen spot and slaps all 5 characters at once with her big wings.
For the Bard based party, that's not what you want to start with, but I don't know how many Blargs will get off against the Mega Nukes.
So is slap just mute? Like Wyvern just slapped the party so hard they can't speak?
I think so. And coming from a large dragon, that would not be a pleasant experience.
Yeah, if a big dragon slapped me, I wouldn't speak for a while either.
Yeah, I wouldn't be happy.
All right, Ninja getting the hovercraft with his newly found hook. Gonna turn in the rat tail, which again could lead to Earth Crystal, which would kind of simplify things for him, or at the very least, it's just gonna check off our first objective of the night. Over an hour in, you know, both runners have been doing fairly well here, so it's always kind of odd when you're racing a seed and doing all these checks and you're hitting the hour mark and here's your first objective.
Yeah. TJ unfortunately getting mega nukes after that Bahamut. Just a Sand Ruby from the Rat Tail.
And you have the pink, might as well turn it in. Another Avenger that no one in the party can use.
Add it to the collection. We get some duct tape and put both of them on Yang's hands, right? The new fists. Eninja continuing to go for the couple item checks, looking for experience, maybe a little money to kind of round out his gear.
Nukes are coming out fast on TJ's side on the left, putting up the Star Veils on at least Yang and Rydia, trying for the counter summon technique, but unfortunately, yeah, those nukes are too strong here for most of these characters to survive.
Yeah, I know the Queen doesn't have a high magic power, but Mega Nuke is still a very powerful spell. Or Nuke is a powerful spell still. Hard to find many spots that it's going to be hitting for under 1,000s.
Yeah, a little bit more of a grind, and Yang can definitely tank him, but that's about it for now.
Going to be taking a look at the Demus now.
What would your thoughts about this Demus be? How would you want to tackle this given our current party?
I'd be looking to keep my white mages glass hatted up ready as well. Get some slows out. And using the mist phase to kind of recover anything or get blinks out as much as I can, because this spot's gonna punch very hard, as we have just seen. Even with glass hats, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah. I guess an ideal situation would be if we had a Moon Veil and lots of ethers, we could just kind of let Rydia take care of the whole thing.
Yeah, just grind through it all.
It'd certainly take a little while. I mean, I guess ideally Rydia, Moon Veils, Ether 2s, and Stardust Rod, and that sort of stuff, just to kind of make it as quick as possible. But neither runner has that particular setup at the moment.
No, and Moon Veils, as much as I wish I could, you cannot count on them being pulled out of a boss spot. But knowing how this runs sometimes, I'm betting that Demist has a Moon Veil under it.
I would be very angry if I was running and that was the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like TJ is out of hourglasses. I guess perhaps a back row geared up Rydia could survive a round of hits and maybe get her Bahamut off against that warrior's chest.
Yeah, and part of it was probably scouting the finds where you could and trying to sneak one out. Eninja finds the Luca key, and then the final monster chest. And I believe he brought the hovercraft over, so it looks like he's going to be taking a peek down that hook route.
Rybon in chat pointing out that Eninja is on the verge of 10 key items. I think we know that this particular chest doesn't give one, but that might give him incentive to check the 2 hook chests, searching for that 10th key item, which does double the experience you get, and will lead to a quicker grind to tackle the bosses we were just talking about, that Wyvern and that Demoness down in Feymarch, in addition to the unknown bosses awaiting us on the moon, 3 of them.
And as many nasty ones as we saw earlier, there's still plenty that I would not be wanting to see up there. Mega Sisters, Evil Wall, a Ruby at a rude spot.
Oh wow, Evil Wall. Yeah, there's a couple spots you're not going to want to see that.
I think Valvalis is still out there. For our Rydia base party, those Protect Rings are a very nice find.
Ninja has so much cash at this point, buying things for 30k doesn't even make a dent.
Didn't even move the chains on his gil stack.
Nope. It looks like Ninja definitely looking for, I would say, that key item, because you're not going to get a lot of experience from this Stalemate chest, but that 10th key item could make a difference depending on where he chooses to go next, what fight he takes.
Yeah, and with this, the Stalemate chest and the Mad Ogres down to the hook route having pretty good key item odds, this is the place to be looking for them.
Yeah, this is our first tournament in the Free Enterprise community that's using, I guess, for at least one portion of it, the K-Trap flag, which leads to some interesting decisions. I guess a simple rule of thumb is the fewer traps there are in an area, the better odds that any one will have something. So comparing this to, say, Sylph, even though there's more traps in Sylph, a lot of runners will favor these checks for a higher chance of getting a key item.
Yeah, I think someone explained it to me that I believe the tower key, or the lower tower, is like all 4 is about AK main check, and then it drips by about 50%, like for each one you find. And then Sylph is just a little lower than that. And then all of these single chests are about AK main check.
Yeah. So we'll see if this one pays off for Ninja. Again, just getting that 10 key item valuable, but if he happens to hit the Earth Crystal, he gets to essentially veto one of the potentially 5 difficult fights up ahead of us. We know there are already 2 difficult ones down the Feymarch.
Just a Dragoon Spear for the Cane we don't have.
So much gear that we're getting that is so valuable, just not for this particular team. I'm thinking of that Wyvern. If we could just have a cane,
yeah,
take out that Wyvern.
And just a duplicate Porum on the hook route. All right, Xenocat in chat giving us the Sylph odds of about 3 and 7 related to a main check. And a nice spot to find the hourglasses right away. Don't have to walk all the way down the hook route and potentially walk back.
Did you just refer to the ogres as the hourglasses?
I might have, yes. I think I saw the hourglass. I'm like, yeah, that's what you use here, right?
I'm just picturing having to fight 4 hourglasses instead of ogres. I'm not sure which is scarier.
And they just cast stop at you?
Oh, I think I'm happier with the way it is now.
With the very strong magic resistant guys?
Oh boy. Ninja, though, putting them all to sleep.
They're stopped and asleep? They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a while since we've seen a key item, so I have a high hopes for this Mad Ogre's Hourglass chest. Let's see what it reveals to us here.
A tower key.
There we go.
That's 10. Did Ninja turn in the Sheila too? I don't know if I saw him go up there. I saw him do the tails.
No, I don't think he did. If he did, we both missed it. Because I don't recall the bonk yet. Did he do that?
I thought he did it when he walked down that side of Fey March, but I could be mistaken. But our tracker is confirming we did not do Shiva 2. Oh, okay, the Avenger from the bonk. All right.
Okay. Yep. So here's Ninja going to the moon. Maybe that's all he wanted was 10 key items to really boost the experience you get, especially now with that required ribbon room. That's 200k experience, assuming it's a full experience fight. So Ninja saving Feymarch to last if all goes as planned for him up here, it looks like.
I like this play. It's a Punchy D-Mist and a Mystery Sparkle, and Wyvern will be doable, but slow, I think, with this party. And more levels just makes it faster with Yang being able to take more nukes, and the white mages being able to help out more.
TJ now going into his second attempt here at the Mom Bomb and Dwarf 2. Slightly healthier party. Should be able to get through it this time.
Healthier party, I believe he took a Sylph Trap chest to get some more levels on himself. Looking to be in a much better spot this time.
But we got Ninja, the first of our runners to descend into the lunar subterrane, heading toward that ribbon room. I'm excited to see what we find there, because again, we got some potentially challenging fights. We got the ribbon room and Masamune before going back up to Bahamut. I've definitely tried plays like this where then you just see something at one of these spots that you either can't deal with or can't deal with efficiently that forces you to leave. So hopefully for Ninja's sake, these are two fights that are doable with his current squad.
Yeah, and I think the grinds of the Sylph chest, the Evelyn, and the 2 down Evelyn chests will really help kind of round out any problem fights that'll show up here. Just going through my mind of what things could be potentially spooky here. I think, let's see, the ones we mentioned before, Mega Sisters, Evil Wall. I think Bygon's still on the table. D-Lunars are still on the table. Ruby. Some potential rudeness up here. TJ is through his Mom Bomb fight. I believe the character was a duplicate, and both items were unfun.
Well, there's that wall you mentioned.
Yeah, it's a lot of wall to fight.
Luckily, we have 2 blink casters.
2 blink casters. And I think we've put the battle speed down to 6, so it should be nice and safe to kind of get moving and set up. Get a pair of slows up, and I think it should be all right.
Reaching into that back row though and dealing basically double as ready as hit points and damage.
And not a great feeling. And I think that might be with the Protectorate on.
Yep, Ninja definitely prioritizing blinks here, which is I think a good move. You want to keep both those blink casters up to keep up with this silly wall who cheats the the ATB battle system.
Yeah, the wall's a big fan of cheating. I don't think we have any ribbons to deal with the crush phase if it comes to that, but I think we should be able to get through it in time. TJ is heading off to our deals to climb up and get his hook and unlock all of his telespells as well. It seems
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, Eninja has a slight stream freeze as at a menacing wall.
Because we know that wall will moved a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
For us. If only we could just make that happen while we were actually fighting the wall. Just get it to stop there.
Yeah, can my hourglasses work on this wall too?
You know what? I'm going to try that in my next race. It's got to work.
If we all try it, it'll work eventually, right?
Maybe you first.
Maybe me first.
You first. You report back.
I'll report back the scouting report from the evil wall versus the hourglasses.
Well, as we're waiting for Eninja's stream to come back, another big shout out to our tracker Aerith and our restreamer Neobari, who I'm sure is hard at work repairing our stream. And I think the first time in the booth together with Funnel Cakes, really enjoying it so far. Hope you are too.
I am, and this is actually my first time in the booth ever. So it's been a joy doing this with you, Korgs.
That is amazing. That's great. Now it's even more exciting. Everyone give a big shout out to Funnel Cakes doing it. I never would have guessed that. You've done this for other randomizers, then I'm sure.
Nope. Last week my track for the first time, and this week I'm commentating for the first time. And seems we have found Eninja again, who has found a pair of D-Lunars that I can only assume are on the Masamune altar.
Yeah, sure looks like it with that background. And did Ninja get through the wall or not? I guess we'll find out in a little bit.
I'd have to go and I want to say maybe, because I think Sid has more HP, and so does Yang. And Rydia might have just stayed down the entire time.
Yeah.
But these D-Lunars are not fun at this spot.
Yeah, they're going to hit you hard. You don't want to attack them with any standard attack command. See what Ninja has in mind. Looks like potentially going for that Lunar Frog strat. You put up those star veils, they're going to hit you with the breath, and hopefully, if you're lucky, you can bounce it back onto both of them.
Yeah, I think that's the play for somewhere here. You don't want them casting fire. That's going to hurt. Their attacks are strong. I mean, Yang, I'm assuming, is geared up pretty well, and he took 1,500 damage in 2 attacks.
Yeah, the tension here is you don't want any of those characters you put the Star Veil on to go down, and you can't blink them because of the Star Veil, so you have to... Hopefully they don't take a one-shot, and if they take partial damage, you cure them right back up. I don't know the math exactly behind it, but you want as many Star Veils up to increase the odds, I think, that both get hit with the frog. I'm sure someone in chat, or maybe you can tell us like the exact right thing. I just try to get as many up as I can and cross my fingers.
Yeah, I also try to get as many up as I can, because I've had the 2 or 3 up and just one of them turns into a frog, which helps, but you're still dealing with a very angry dragon.
Got Zoom Waffle in chat reporting they believe that all the hit points are the same, indicating that we did not get through that wall on Ninja's side.
Okay, I mean, that's a hard fight. It's a lot of HP, and I think with just Yang probably punching, it's tight. So if you can get through this, the experience boost, I think, will tip that favor pretty nicely.
4 Star Veils, but looks like only that front frog going down, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of unfortunate targeting on the bounce back from the breath. I think if it went the other way, it would have been all right. I believe that is TJ through his ordeals, which gives him a rat tail and puts him just a hook from go mode.
Remind me where we found that hook.
The hook was the top of tower, I believe.
Oh, that's right.
Off of the Ogopogo.
Yeah, there still are other paths to go mode. Unfortunately for TJ, one of them is not here. See how Ninja wants to navigate the remainder of this fight.
Going with some aim strats with the white arrows.
What if we're going to try to get that Rydia up? They will counter with remedies, but I'm wondering if she'll outpace the remedy with the with the Blarg.
I think she would. I think they're only remedying for about 1,500 and Blarging for probably 5 to 6K if I had to guess, without knowing the gear setup.
But I think it looks like Ninja, at least for the moment, is kind of going with the safer strat, doing the punch command, the aim command to the still skeletal dragon, avoiding the frog for now.
Yeah, a nice slow and steady way will get you through this fight, I think, pretty consistently at this setup. You've got your 2 white mages. You can use. I like using Cure 3 for some offensive magic here.
Yeah, our tracker reminding us of the gear imbalance. We've just found so many great things for, say, Canes and Cecils and haven't found them, and we found very little mage boosting gear. But we're not getting the strongest Bahamut summon as we can, but we'll see if Ninja still tries to, because right now Rydia is still a muted frog, so she would need some healing before she can be fully activated.
Might just have her up as another body to take a punch to help keep everyone else safe, which is definitely something I think helps a lot. Just another target for the AoE.
And unfortunately, we got around to another round of breaths. Yang avoided it, but 3 party members are currently frogs again. That frogged up Rosa looking for her favorite Easter candy.
I was actually just talking about Peeps with some friends today, and my feeling is they're okay for about the first 1 or 2, and then I don't want to see them anymore.
Yeah, they're the candy corn of the Easter season.
Yeah, right. You gotta have a little bit. It's thematic, but you don't want more than 3.
Yeah, like with candy corn, when I had my first one, I'm like, it's all right. And then I had my second handful, I'm like, okay, these are okay. And then I had my third bag, I'm like, all right, I'm done.
I kind of feel that way about things like circus peanuts too. It's for the nostalgia, not necessarily for the taste.
I don't think I've ever had one of those. They visually, I can't wrap my head around what it is.
It's understandable. It's just a big lump of sugar, and they were really great when I was like 8.
Ninja persevering here. We have 2 active party members. We have a Rosa who's a muted frog. Let's see how he can get himself through this tricky fight.
Getting some more members up. I think we might be out of healing items in the inventory.
TJ not too long from getting a second bout of or a bunch of bad news. Just again, this check not leading to anything useful. I believe it was some sort of shield.
Yeah, I believe it was another crystal shield for our collection.
So unfortunately, going back with stronger team is definitely making these fights much more doable for TJ, but they're just not leading to progress. If you were in TJ's spot with the kind of the rough time he's had, would you be tempted at this point maybe to try the full Sylph? What are the options?
Full Sylph or running up and checking maybe like the last arm chest. I know people don't really like to go there unless they have a giant objective or are gambling big early. But yeah, I think you gotta, if you're feeling behind, going to those typically low payout spots to try and spike something big that'll kind of spring you back into the lead.
Yeah, oh, I totally forgot about last arm. That's a good point.
It looks like Eninja has defeated the non-frog dragon and will power punch the rest of the way through. And GG's on a fight that can definitely go wrong very quickly.
Yeah, well done sticking through that. You can see the party is kind of in tatters, but we are going to get through this. That frog did just try to light Eninja's team on fire, but luckily for Eninja, frogs don't really know how to do that, and he is through. That's an objective. That's some good experience. I assume we're going to go right back to tackle that wall, but let's see what little reward we get here from this spot.
Yeah, and I believe he has cabin, so we should be able to get right back up to full HP. And a nice white shirt is actually...
That's useful.
It's a nice scoop.
I was really expecting a crystal sword with how the seed is gone, but
crystal sword or, a white spear.
Another Avenger.
It looks like TJ kept the Sid. I didn't see who he dropped there. We'll see it in this menu. Looks like he dropped Porum.
Yep, looking maybe for a little more oomph, looking to gear out the Sid. I don't quite recall seeing things like Ogre Axes or Poison Axes, or I don't think we haven't seen the Artie Bow, have we?
No, and I know we saw a Rune Axe somewhere, but I can't remember where.
That experience, look at that Rydia on Eninja's side.
Just enough.
Does not survive without doing that Masamune fight first. Let's see where Ninja prioritizes the blinks. Does he want it on that caster? If he does, unfortunately, gonna miss it on that one. If she was getting targeted, I didn't catch where Porum's going.
Looks like it's on Yang, which I like. Keep him safe in the front row, trying to dish out as much as you can. Looks like he's punching for about 2k a round. Should be all right if you can get a little help from Rydia.
Yeah, we're dealing with 42k worth of Evil Wall here, so we need to get that damaged. I mean, if it comes to it, we might be able to juggle the crush phase, but might also be getting low on life potions.
Looks like he's getting blinks up on his white mages, which I like. Keep kind of the linchpin of the fight up and going.
Who will blink the blinkers? I guess the blinkers.
Sneak a Talon and you got your third blinker. Oh, he'd probably end up just like that Sid right now, flat on the ground.
Yeah. Do you think cars should come with 3 blinkers? You got the left, the right. Where would the third blinker go?
Give me my forward blinker. I just always want to have a blinker on, Make up for the ones that aren't on.
I like it.
That Evil Wall just does not want to let Rydia live. TJ's doing a little shopping here, grabbing a few other things. Because the knife bots were for sale there. Saw he picked up a stack of samurai arrows, the inferior Leviathan, or inferior Bahamut for sale. But takes one anyways. The mana cost is nicer to deal with than the 60 sometimes.
Yeah, I would say it's typically rare to pick up that when you already have Bahamut, but every once in a while, like you mentioned, in a pinch, if that's all you have left, it still does a decent chunk of damage for, if you suddenly find yourself in that 40 to 60 range.
And, the faster cast time can definitely be useful in, say, some of the Sylph traps or some of the other earlier fights in the game.
This seed is really amazing when you think about it, like how quickly we got those magma and darkness and hook, took a little bit, but we found it. But just I'm just being driven, like, just with a little bit of frustration on behalf of the runners, just for the gear that we're seeing and the gear we're not getting and the characters we're not getting and the bosses where they are. These are tough situations to deal with.
No, these are the bosses. You finish every one of those fights and you're like, I earned this. This is mine.
Yeah.
These are hard spots. I don't think, thinking of all of the spots, none of the bosses are particularly easy. Wyvern's not easy. Wyvern and Demist are tough in here. Demon Eaters and Evil Wall are not particularly fun anywhere on the moon.
Yeah, the perseverance on both runners has been good to see tonight. I would say Ninja's definitely in the lead right now, but if TJ is somehow able to get through this demist and that key item check leads to something that allows him to avoid a fight, that could be, his one way to kind of get back into this.
Yeah, being able to skip a long fight is definitely worth the check from the demist. And I think he picked up a handful of glass hats, some other nice things to have for these fights.
Have we reached crush phase?
We have, and it looks like we're trying to cycle through everyone.
Yeah, this is one of those spots where if you had that item known as a ribbon, the headgear known as a ribbon, that would prevent you from being crushed, and you put that on your damage dealer, and it might be a long time, but you'd essentially be through it at this point. But I don't think we've seen that either. Speaking of the gear that we haven't seen,
no, our shops have been pretty barren. Even in terms of strength gear, we really haven't seen much. I think Black Belt's the best shirt we saw. Zeus gauntlets were somewhere, but they're pricey and not a ton of people can wear them.
Yes, Ninja through that fight, has 4 party members up, and the only one not up is the hero who gets the experience anyway. That is well done by Ninja.
No, very, very well done fight, and getting to that crush phase is nerve-wracking, and it was very well done to get everything up. And gets the full 200k on everyone.
Good fight. Have an apple and a knife to pair it with.
For the character we don't have still. I think we've gotten the Masamura combo. Our Edges kitted, our Cecil's kitted, our Kane's kitted.
All these imaginary friends that we're collecting. And they're very real gear.
It's the gear you find and you go, man, they gotta be somewhere, right? I can't just not find them.
All right, I think we are due for a cakewalk of a fight on Ninja's side. What do you say?
I agree. This seems, a nice spot for... I don't know who I'd want to see here particularly. Dark Elf probably wouldn't be too bad. Kaipo guards would be great.
Yeah.
Though
he's earned Kaipo guards. Let's go.
Though I know from experience, you have to be a little careful with these Kaipo guards. They still punch pretty hard at this spot. Just get a blink on Rydia and you'll be all right.
I guess it's really though time for Golbez if the seed is going the way it's been going.
Yeah, if the seed is playing games with us, it's not gonna be fun. Not just a Mylon, shouldn't be too bad.
Nope. Definitely the easiest of the 3 moon fights by far, though it is gonna punch. So you're still gonna need those blinks. Can Yang tank a hit? I would guess probably, but
Yeah, I think at 35k you can take at least one.
yeah.
TJ going through the Warrior's chest. I don't believe Ninja did that one.
Nope.
So we could we have new information here. Just a Stardust Rod, which is honestly very nice to see.
It's gonna speed up any fight where Mega Nuke's used, that's for sure. So we can see on Ninja's side, he now does have, after finishing Ribbon, 3 objectives done. Masamune Altar, the Ribbon Room, and he's already traded in that Rat Tail. He's going to be getting number 4 here, and then back to Feymarch to wrap up the seed. And are we going to have a Sylph Dive now by TJ with that Stardust Rod?
Looks like we might get some more levels, get kind of ready for either the moon or back down to the Feymarch. I believe he's opened a couple of chests down here. It might have been this one.
All that moon experience serving Ninja's Rydia well, taking a big hit from Mylon, surviving with 2 digits worth of health.
The only amount of health I've seen her have, I feel like. Getting punched by a wall, getting punched by Mylon Z, punched by some dragons.
That's our Rydia. She's comfortable there. She lives on the edge.
As the most important hit point, the last one.
Nice job by Ninja. We have now cleared K Bahamut on Ninja's side. 4 objectives complete. Really, I think the path that Ninja chose once they got up to the moon kind of worked in his favor. Getting through that lengthy but doable D-Lunars fight, grabbing that experience, going to the wall, and then finally the easiest of the fights here at Bahamut.
Yeah, and now he's good, set up to go for both fights down in the Feymarch. I think even Rydia should have enough HP to take a nuke to the face and continue to stand there. And then the D-Mist, I don't think it'll be particularly fast with this party, but should be quite doable, provided Rydia can survive.
I mean, at this point, I assume we'll see Rydia down to single-digit hit points at least one of these fights.
Yeah, gotta make it interesting for everyone.
It would be fitting if a single-digit Rydia casts Bahamut to end the seed against one of these bosses.
That's the poetry we like to see when we finish a race.
That would be just a beautiful, beautiful sight.
As Bahamut continues to be what I consider the MVP of this flag set, just in general.
Yeah, that's been both runners' DPS. And luckily for them, we found it in multiple locations, multiple methods of obtaining it.
You will cast Blarg, and you will like it.
And that's about all we've gotten, but we've used it. On TJ's side, Toad Lady fight, the good one to see when you only have 1 hit point, because you're not going to have actually any damage done to you. You will have the annoyance of being turned into a toad here and there, but no danger of wiping.
Right, very, very safe fight. Hopefully, you can get a. You know, if you're lucky, your people just end up being not toads, anyways. Eninja getting the fun experience of being slapped by a wyvern.
After an hour and 44 minutes of getting slapped by the seed, it's fitting. Now that Ninja has that information, let's see how he chooses to deal with it.
Twin harm from the Toad Lady chest.
Could we get treated to some late music here? Yeah, unfortunately, that ghost fight's on the other end of the spectrum in terms of not wanting to have low hit points, because unless you can get that mute bell off or mute cast off quickly, yeah, those fire twos come out, and there's 6 of them.
Yeah, they're may just be fire 2, but it's enough. But no, he took a good save point before coming down here, so Hannah ready to bounce back and give it another whirl. Curing up before the fight this time should be in good shape.
Well, unless Demus hits Yang again, it looks like we're going to have some cold mist here, because we did see the Berserk cast go out on Yang. I don't think this is a pretty high hit point spot.
Yeah, the Berserk can definitely be tough, unless we have a Silver Staff from somewhere. I think it's a Silver Staff that can purge that off.
Yep. So at this point, Ninja might just be at the stage where he's willing to just kind of sit through those cold mists, get the big damage from Rydia, get the decent damage from Yang, and just get through this demist.
Yeah, with 2 white mages with decent enough gear. I think we got a life staff from somewhere, the white shirt, a sorcerer robe. They'll be able to keep the party up pretty easily.
Yang punch in air.
Putting the pieces of Rydia's mom finally back together. After we scattered her at the beginning of the game.
That is true. She was the package destroyer today. I wonder if we're ever going to see that demist checked.
Demist coming back into the hittable form, all to get hit with its own dragon.
TJ recovering after the encounter with the Toad Lady, knowing that he's got a ghost chest coming up next. We'll see how he chooses to set up for that. Get ready on that top slot. Fortunately, not going first.
But it should be all right, provided Rydia doesn't get hit with every one of the fires. Pommet being queued up, and that should be all the ghosts do.
Yeah, luckily Rosa took most of them.
And,
Big kick from Young.
And she's the hero, so if she goes down, that's fine. That's just a tactical damage soaking.
Demus down, Ghost down. Lots of levels being gained on both sides.
And a Masamune.
And this complimentary headpiece, the ninja hat. So that is 5 objectives now for Ninja. Assuming we're going to see a save and a rest up perhaps, or okay, looking at the armor shop.
Might not
good in here.
Might not have a way to cleanse the silence from the slab.
And
so it doesn't unable to kind of reestablish himself in the fight after that. And without having something like RD to just hold A with, it's going to be quite tough to go around. But it looks like we're just going down.
I know at least one of the runners brought a stack of 10 heal pots. I think that must have been TJ way at the beginning.
It was. I think I've seen him using it a few times, and when he gave the Wyvern a try.
Ninja looking. That Dragoon Spear teasing because no one can wield it, but it would do such a big amount of damage if we simply had a cane.
Using the life staff for a nice little heal. Don't see that super often.
When Rydia comes back up, is she still muted?
It doesn't look like she is.
I know we're getting some kind of video artifacts, I think, but it doesn't. Yeah, I agree. I don't think she's muted anymore. TJ now on the... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Going down the Poison Treasury, everyone's favorite pile of boxes.
TJ living on the edge a little bit, still has the 1 hit point on everyone. Tricky to do that when any one of these chests could be another bunch of ghosts waiting to take out your party. Yeah, typically, as you mentioned earlier, having float and a fully cured team is one way to get around it. Sometimes I'll just do the brute force of, all right, I got 1 hit point, but I'll just get to the chest and burn a whole bunch of potions real quick. But unfortunately, yeah, if you come up to the ghosts without perfect agility, which is rare to have with this flag set, that is the sad result.
Yeah, and the mute belts are nice, but yeah, without the red agility setup, it's hard to get one off before they start going. Sid is kind of the only hero I even start to consider getting down to that low agility number, just due to the existence of like a Dwarfax.
Yeah, Sid through the low 1400s when he's at that level of hit points with the Dwarfax is still a pretty good anchor. And then especially if you can speed up your other important party members even beyond that. That is one of the challenges that we've had. The Sea Hero flag, I think about 2 years old now. And as comfortable as we've kind of gotten as a community with that flag, it still is a challenging flag.
Yeah, I think it came out about the time I got into playing Free Enterprise with ZZ4. DJ hitting the ghost with a Leviathan. Should take them all out.
Ninja taking a moment to consider options after the last encounter with Wyvern. I didn't see what was the result of that trap chest of TJ's.
A light sword, I think. It wasn't a yellow item.
That makes sense.
More things for the guys we don't have, but centipedes are nice. Dealing with them quite handily, and a nice swoon proc.
The ninja leaves Feymarch as TJ picks up an Excal. So again, more great equipment for just someone we don't have. And look, finding a stack of ribbons to put on.
Just what we need to get through the slap.
I'm assuming that defends against slap, because I was wondering when Ninja left, was this going to be maybe a Demas check to see if I had an out to another objective? Was it going to looking for heals? But ribbons, a really tremendous pickup.
Yeah, no, ribbons have also been another unsung hero in this no free bosses flag set. A lot of things that you usually just deal with stop or coffins. They like to cast nasty spells. I don't like it.
With this flag set, shop tracking has become a thing. A lot of folks take notes on their own, either pen and paper or up in some notepad. But it's been at least one community member has put together a shop tracking app that you can find in the tools and projects section of the Discord. So I'm not sure what method Ninja uses, but he went right to the spot, either through luck or maybe just did a really great job remembering if you saw them earlier.
Yeah, I've definitely been using the app, and it helps a lot with so many kind of like little niche items you might want to just keep in your back pocket. It's a lot easier to note them down than trying to just brute force remember them all, because there's a lot of shops you might not remember every little thing.
It's definitely, there's a mental load there, and the ribbon is like the perfect one because it is so expensive. You're typically, if you just came out of a big loot area, you might get one, but sometimes you see it early and you can't really even afford it. If you're still looking for your early offensive items, you might not pick one up.
Yeah, no, it's great for keeping track of any of your luxury items.
I just got a great mental picture of all 5 of Ninja's characters with ribbons in their hair, just kind of matrix dodging a big dragon wing, trying to slap them, and they're all still standing.
Oh, and then they finally get to go all out.
Now it's our turn, says all 5 of them at once.
Earth Crystal for TJ in the 6 chests of the Poison Treasury.
So another potential path, another required item. Will we see TJ immediately go to Zot, and maybe, if Zot leads to half a forge and can find the other half, we can skip some of these tricky fights.
Going up the lower battle, which we know has the hook at the top. Eninja shoving the other dragon at a wyvern. Getting a mega nuke back at him, but it's not too strong there. Only was about,
it is not.
like 1,500 damage. It's not too bad.
Surprising to see that mega nuke come out and almost everyone's still standing.
Probably more scared of the slap than the mega nuke.
Way more effective in this seed for sure.
And there goes the Wyvern, and that's objective 6.
What a seed. What a job done by Ninja here. Big GG's out in chat for Eninja. Just hanging on, tough fights, sticking with it, getting a big bomb to wrap the whole thing up.
That's kind of summarizes the seed, I think.
It sure does. And there it is. Good game. Officially, Eninja takes the win here. Both runners just putting up with this amazing seed rolled by our tracker, Niabari. I think we currently have Ninja in the booth with us, and we're also joined by TJ, who, after seeing the result, took a forfeit, which is completely understandable with what you got here. Let's talk to Ninja real quick. Ninja, GG, how are you feeling right now?
I figured I was behind there for a long time. Yeah, I was butting heads up against bosses like crazy.
You were, but you kept butting against them, and just that moon play, I think, really turned it around for you. That just an amazing fight set. I'm sure we'll get into a little bit, but I also want to say GG to TJ, who also had to go through that seed. So glad to have you here with us tonight.
Thanks.
Yep. GG's, man.
GG's. Can I never play this game again, or at least that seed?
Yeah, we'll call that seed a rough one for anyone. We were talking about that with as early as you guys had Darkness and Magma, that it only took a lot of rude bosses existing in every spot to put the brakes on what was looking to start off at least as a jet seed.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot something. If you cast Blarg at Leviathan, he likes to counter with a Mega Nuke.
Yeah, the Wyvern likes to send it back at you, but no, it's a very good job getting through that fight and persevering after the Mega Nuke came back.
Yeah.
So throughout the seed, we were just noticing, like, you guys were both getting this amazing gear, and you just had no one that could use it. I'm sure that must have been a source of frustration for both of you as you went through this. Any thoughts about that?
Oh, you mean like the 3 Avengers I found?
Just sitting there.
Yeah, those ones.
It got funny for me at some point. Every time something good popped up, I just got to the point where I was chuckling. I was like, "Yeah, that's par for the course."
Yeah, I was just wondering who the 7th character was. Don't know.
Yeah, no clue.
I know who the 6th one was. The 6th one was Tella sitting at package.
Yep. And that was a point of early divergence. TJ went and took that Tella relatively early, while you did Ordeals early. So at one stage, you both kind of had both halves of the Tella, the complete Tella. But yeah, that was a choice early on.
Yeah. Yeah, when I saw the reward for it, I was like, oh, this could be required. If I remember right, it was the rat tail, wasn't it?
It was.
From Ordeals.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
It's like, well, I can't reset out of this.
No, and luckily, I don't think you knew at that point, but the blue robe in Ordeals was not the scary one. But I'm sure there was the moment of panic as you saw it walk at you.
Yeah, but I saw the blue robes at Baron Inn. I was like, well, I know what this one is.
We did the other one.
Yeah, we had Cinder Crocodile today.
And both of you had to deal with the fact that the double fight at Baron Inn and the double fight at Dwarf Castle, which were both challenging, led to nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun.
I think
The only thing it led to was an end of the character.
Yeah, just another Sid, but a nice big meatball to stand and take some hits.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Just find a sponge.
So TJ, yeah, you mentioned never wanting to play the game, or specifically even or maybe just the seed again. How just both of you again, big props for putting up with this seed. What are your thoughts? Or do you have any thoughts that you can share with us on stream about your next time in the race room, TJ?
Oh, for me, it's just this mode is Jekyll and Hyde for me. Either it's 130 sub or around there sub, or it's this. I haven't had one in between, so it's kind of par for the course. Kind of makes me chuckle, but we're gonna keep trucking through it and see how it goes. And they can't all be horrible, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you showed a lot of perseverance going back to a lot of those fights and trap chests and going through, and it was definitely a rough one as we were watching to go through.
So Ninja, I mentioned your moon play earlier, and you wound up against that wall, and we kind of lost your stream actually during your first wall attempt, which I guess we figured out you either wiped or you had to reset, and then you decided to go tangle with the D-Lunars down at Masamune. What were your thoughts during that fight? Because that was kind of the moment. Like we saw the grit that you had there to get through that. Tell us about that fight.
Yeah, I actually went down to D-Lunars, and I saw D-Lunars, I was like, well, they're not super punchy here. Their flames hurt a little bit, but I think I can get reflex off on them. And I barely got through that Lunar D's. I mean, I had one of them toted and one of them not.
Yeah, no, it was a very good job of making sure not to go off onto the counter script from the one that survived, and a little unlucky seeing the 4 breaths target the front dragon off of your Starbills there.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't good. But other than that, I did that. Then I went back and I just did Evil Wall. I zerked Yang, and I had the other white mage cast Blink on Yang, and then I was basically just playing Blink Roulette with the white mages and Yang.
And then eventually Life Roulette when you hit Crush Face. So really great job. Those 2 fights essentially set you up to complete the seed.
Yeah.
It must have been great seeing that Mylon Z at Bahamut as a super easy fight compared to those first 2 on the moon.
Yeah, it was.
Well, again, you two put up with a very challenging seed here tonight. TJ, any final thoughts from you?
No, just thanks to everybody for getting involved in this and putting this on, and GG's to Ninja, and let's just see the rest of this tournament and see how everything goes, because it should be a good time.
Yep, thank you so much, TJ, representing the Mysidian Comedy Club, one of all of these excellently named teams. We'll be seeing more of them as the tournament goes on, and good luck to you, TJ, in your next race.
Thank you.
And Ninja, representing your team, it's Bacchus o'clock somewhere. I believe, Ninja, your team got a win last week, and you got your team off to a good start here this week. How you feeling about
that? Feel good about it.
And do you know who on your team is racing next, Ninja?
I don't quite remember exactly.
Okay, but we've got 2 more from both of your teams coming up this week at some point. So everyone out there, if you want more free enterprise action, keep your eye out on the schedule, keep your eye out on the streams. Funnel Cakes, any final questions for our 2 intrepid runners tonight?
No, I think you covered it all, and it was a good display of grit, and I think this is a seed that would trip up probably a lot of people with what you guys had to put up with and the gear that was not given. But GG's again, very well played.
Yeah, I also want to thank everybody behind the scenes. The Abari on Restream. It's spelled Aerith on the tracking, Funnel Cakes, and Korgs as well.
Well, thank you, Ninja, and thank you, TJ, for putting on a show and showing us just the kind of seed that we can get with this flag set, and the kind of the different moves and things you have to deal with throughout. We really appreciate it. I'm very happy that both of you had to run that and I did not.
I'm sure.
I can imagine.
So thank you and have a great night, guys.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Well, Funnel Cakes, we did it. We got through. I mean, again, I just thank them for having to get through the seed that we didn't have to, but I kind of feel a little beat up myself. I don't know about you.
Yeah, that was a. I felt like I was having to play that entire seed the whole time, but it was good to see. It was a nice fun. It was fun for the viewers, right? If at least someone had fun.
I love seeing runners being challenged, and both of these runners that we saw tonight dealt with the challenge, with ultimately Ninja coming out the victor through a very challenging Potion Party seed here in the Eblan Elixir League, getting a win for his team, the Bacchus. It's Bacchus o'clock somewhere over the Mysidian Comedy Club. And again, big thanks to Niabari, our restreamer, and It's Spelled Aerith, our tracker, and to Funnel Cakes. Unbelievably, his first time in the booth. No one believes it. You did a great job. It was really fun casting this match with you tonight.
Thank you very much. I had a lot of fun too. I hope to be back for more, because it's a different experience being on this side compared to being the one running the race, and it's nice. It's nice to just be looking down on it.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to enjoy free enterprise on the race, in the race itself, in the booth, or in the audience. So thank you, audience. We are now rating you over to Free Enterprise 2. We've got another race. Stay tuned. We've got Maggie the Cat. They're my teammate against Nerukad. So I do have a rooting interest, but good luck to both runners and have a great night, everyone. Please stay tuned. Heading over to a new race.